Good evening and hello doctor. I am NANDHINI DEVASALAM as Logistic EXCO of webinar going to present on the purpose of group. First of all, the main purpose of group is to manage the webinar professionally. The webinar is right tool for our needs because it can be a powerful training and outreach tool. We consider about our audience, subject matter and the time to cover the topic because most online audience tend to lose the interest after about 2 hours of webinar. We recruit speakers and support team for our webinar by developing the topic, locating the speaker, and marketing the event and setting up the registration and also communicating with participants for our webinar before and after the webinar. We plan the visuals for our webinar because the whole webinar really on audio and visuals to get the message across by both should be engaging. Otherwise, the purpose of group is to accept all the challenges during the webinar. We are aware of the challenges that we may face during the webinar for planning, promoting and hosting the webinar. The webinar organizers always want to know how to get through the technical issues should they arise and make sure they know how to work the webinar controls. We may face challenges such as in which channels and when to promote the webinar. At the end, the technical problems can lead to webinar being cancelled or postponed or may prevent the participants from joining in. For example, if the participants' device is broken or the internet connection is not working properly, they can't take part. So that we will prepare with our technical settings or with another supporting strategies for avoid unwanted issues during the webinar. But anyway, that's all from my side. Now I'm going to pass to MYTHELI to continue a part.
Greetings to Doctor. My name is MYTHELI KUPPUSAMY from ICOM final year student. I played a role as a logistic EXCO. Thank you, NANDHINI. Let's continue another purpose of the webinars. The third purpose of webinar is to share knowledge, ideas and updates with university students. If we want to educate our audience, webinars are one of the most effective way to do it. To run an educational webinars, it's best to use well-prepared slides or a whiteboard videos as it utilizes the visual capabilities of webinars. Rather than taking screenshots and adding them to your presentations, you can share your desktop and jump between different apps freely. We can share anything informational visuals or inform them about updates of it. The next purpose of webinars is to present topics that engage, relevant and informational to others. The most important knowledge that can share with university students could be engaged, relevant and informational to them. If we are looking for inspirations for our webinars content, we can run through other contents to see what drives traffic to our sites and what our audience is the most interested in. When we have decided on the topic, choose a format that could suit our webinar's needs. Thank you.
Greetings, Doctor. I'm NITHIA TATARAO, EXCO Media and Publicity. Today, I would like to talk about background study of Internet and social media addiction. Internet and social media addiction is the state where use of the Internet gets to be compulsive. The user begin to create a reliance on the Internet for their psychological well-being, and said user experience unpleasant feelings when denied of the Internet. Social media and Internet use become problematic when someone views social networking sites an important coping machine to relieve stress and their loneliness. This continuous use eventually leads to multi-interpersonal problems such as ignoring their real-life relationships. Excessive social media and Internet use can not only cause unhappiness and a general dissatisfaction with their life, but also increase the risk of developing mental health such as depression. To overcome this problem, they have to significantly reduce their time spent or obtained from using electronic devices such as smartphone and also computer. They have to reduce the screen time to overcome this problem. Thank you.
I'm Teo Irong, and I'm going to continue with the objective of webinar. Our objective of webinar is to give awareness about social media trends among university students. The next objective of webinar is to provide knowledge of internet and social media addiction for university students. The next objective of webinar is to spread awareness about internet and social media addiction toward youngsters and give motivation to use internet technology in beneficial way. And I will continue with the justification of the webinar. There were some mental health problems among youngsters which caused by the social media addiction. According to the University Malaya Center for Addiction Science Director, Dr. Rusdi Abdul Rashid, social media addiction can lead to depression and anxiety. He stated that the comparison between peers in the social media platform will cause mental health problems to become more serious among youth nowadays. For example, the suicide case that happened on 15 May 2019 in Batu Kawah, Sarawak show the power of internet and social media on people nowadays. A 16-year-old girl suicided after she received the polling result on her social media platform, which 69% of her followers voted the die option for her. This case showed the internet and social media addiction of youth need to be emphasized as it affected the mental health of the youngster nowadays. The next justification of the webinar is the effectiveness of the webinar was shown during the pandemic COVID-19. Professor Lamakandan Mohalik and Ms. Srimoyi Poddar were doing a study in India 2020 entitled Effectiveness of Webinar and Online Programs during the COVID-19 to investigate the opinions of respondents towards the online programs. The results show that 84% of the respondents state that the online programs help them to improve in different knowledge and its depth in the section readiness and purpose of participants for attending online programs. Besides that, there were also 77 of the respondents have agreed that the participants improved their knowledge by attending the online programs. Although the webinar and the online programs may have some shortage, but it's still a good way to carry out during this pandemic time. Therefore, the webinar entitled Internet and Social Media Addiction will be carried out to bring message and information for the participant.
Next, I want to talk about the details of webinar. The date of webinar is on 26 June 2021. The time is 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. The guest speaker of this webinar is Livy Jen, is an alumni UNIMED. The participants for this webinar is 100 participants to 150 participants. The platform we use is of this webinar is Google Meet. Next, I want to talk about the budget of the webinar. 50 ringgit is for the e-cert for the participants, and the 50 ringgit is for the guest speaker for the gift one. The total of the budget for this webinar is 100 ringgit. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lee Hui Sing. I work in Logistics, Setting and Facility Department. My job is recording the webinar. As you know, not everyone will attend the webinar. Then I will record the webinar as a backup. For those who has missed out the webinar, they can watch again the webinar. Thank you.
Setting is important element to make an effective webinar, which is a programmer need to select very specific idea which detail the following titles. The webinar need to hosted by skilled and expert who can bring the event in flow. In fact, the webinar programmer need to schedule the event with the proper time management with the slot to avoid the clashes and to have the guests to deliver their content towards the audience clearly. Moreover, the webinar need to be set with a full prepared wired headset, microphones, equipment with the computer services to help the guests to deliver their content towards the audience. Moreover, before start the event, the programmer need to test the equipment at least once few days before the event start. Moreover, the programmer need to ensure that the seminar space settings must be comfortable with the guests and audience and suitable without any distractions or noises. And the last, programmer and the webinar guests need to be ready before 10 minutes before the event has been started.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley. I'm going to explain on how to promote our webinar events on social media platforms. And we have opened the two accounts on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. And I'm going to explain how to promote on these two social media platforms first. In Facebook, at first, we must design a black and white theme poster first with a specific titles, guest speakers, date, time, venue, and registration QR code before the webinar 1 month start. Next, regularly post 3 days of posters or videos or funny memes that related our webinar titles on social medias every week. After we regularly post the poster or video, we must use the hashtag. Hashtags is very important because they mention our webinar events. This is the key, and this is the key of the posting the information. So this is very important. Using the hashtag. Using the hashtag so that everyone know to our what is going on to our webinar and what is important to our webinar. Next, before the webinar start, we must design a counting date poster or any GIF to our social media platforms to remind our audience our event is coming soon, so that our audience will know that our webinar will be going to start tomorrow or next day. Okay, next, Instagram. How to promote on Instagram of our webinar event? Okay, first, regularly post maybe 3 days or 4 days of story in Instagram, as post the poll, question, and quiz as the interactive with audience, so the audience can ask us a question if any inquiries at our webinar events. Okay, next, same thing on Facebook. Regularly post 3 days of poster, videos, funny memes that related our webinar titles every week, so that the audience can know more information of our webinar events. And same thing, don't forget using the hashtag when posting the poster on social media platforms. And the last, same thing on Facebook. Design a counting day poster, post on Instagram, as everyone know our event will be coming soon. Okay, that's all for my tips on how to promote our webinars on social media platforms. So I hope that our webinar is successfully, and we will see you soon.
My name is RINUSHLAADEWI. I am a video editing. My job scope is to collect the video presentation from my members and then check the footage and tune the voice of the presentations.
Hi, my name is Vanishree and I am the video editor. My job scope is to combine all the videos that is done by my group members and edit with effects and text. Thank you.
My name is TATARAO and my job is to collect the proposal that done by my group members and compile it. And also I will check for I will do some correction if there's some grammar mistake or something else before we hand in to our Dr. Hanif.